He's the Melbourne boy who landed a spot on Australia's hottest soapie. For the last 2 years, Charlie Clausen has been playing home and away favourite Zach Maguire.
Yeah, teaching at Summer Bay High School. He also carries the burden of looking after his niece and nephew. But now Zach faces his ultimate test as he's torn away from the woman he loves. He's another Summer Bay resident caught up in the tragedy of the bus crash.
Zach, what's happening?
They're transferring her to the city.
What? Why?
The neurosurgeon said they're better equipped to deal with the ongoing assessments.
And just as Zach Maguire's romance with Leah has blossomed, she's now left in a coma.
So how long will she be in surgery?
It could be hours.
And while Leah's son, VJ, has been struggling to come to terms with her newfound love, the tension between the two has intensified.
Before you, me and Mum were doing just fine. And we'll be okay long after you're gone.
And Charlie Clausen joins us now. Charlie, welcome to the show. Did you like how Tom said that?
No, I like the way you referred to me as a Melbourne boy.
You're a man, Charlie.
A boyish, almost 40-year-old.
I apologise. Now, viewers are waiting to see what happens with Leah. Is she going to pull through?
Well, you'll have to wait and see, obviously, but it's not going to be an easy path back. You know, there's going to be complications. It is a drama, after all, so if she made a stunning recovery and everything went back to normal, it'd be pretty boring. But yeah, it gets more interesting for sure.
We saw in the clip, Charlie, that the relationship with you and VJ is quite tense. He's not happy you're on the scene. Do you think that might ease down the track?
Well, he's a teenager, and from my experience talking to my brother who has 2 teenagers, it never gets easier. So it just gets more and more, it gets more complicated. I mean, the fact is Zach has inherited a teenage boy, and he's not his father, and he somehow has to sort of balance, you know, his own grief with what Leah's going through with looking after this kid. So yeah, it gets pretty prickly.
What's the best part of working on Home and Away?
Well, being referred to as a boy on national shows. No, it's just, to be honest, I know it sounds like a cliche and everyone probably says it, but you spend so much time with these people, it's like a family. Like I actually get excited the night before I go to work because I just know I'm going to see all my friends, and obviously you're working in this beautiful location, but it's just the people. I mean, the crew have been there for so long, and you know, some of the cast members have been there a long time, so you really just feel comfortable when you're on set. It's just a great place to hang out.
Who's the loudest on set? Who's the rowdiest, makes the most noise?
I mean, Johnny Ruffo is known to...
Is that while he's punching out a push-up?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of guys punching out push-ups. I'm not sure if you've seen the bodies on some of those blokes.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I'd say, I mean, some people may say I'm a loudmouth, but I don't know.
Hey, Charlie, you've had a great Australian career on TV, Blue Healers and McLeod's Daughters. Was there any plans coming up for you to sort of move abroad into the US, perhaps?
That's always an option. Yeah, I mean, I've done a few trips to the US before and done pilot seasons and that kind of thing. But I'm enjoying my time on the show right now, so I have no immediate plans to leave at this stage. There's a few other things I'm working on, and you know, depending on how they go, that'll probably dictate whether or not, you know, I jump overseas or... You
mentioned to us just before you came on, you're working on a pilot for a movie. A feature film.
Yeah.
Like a script for a feature film.
Yeah, yes.
Tell us about that.
So this is something that I've been kicking around for a while. My girlfriend is a director, and so we had our own production company for a while, and you know, we just were always coming up with ideas, and this is the first idea we came up with that was fairly advanced, and we got some funding from Screen Australia to write the next draft. So that's the kind of next goal, is to kind of, you know, get this new draft done and get it cast, and then hopefully be making a film at the end of the year.
Oh, congratulations, mate. Yeah. Is it strange for your girlfriend to watch you acting alongside Ada? No. Gemma and Ada get on really well. Look, I think being a director herself, she understands, like, you know, the mechanics of...
You have to pash on with Ada, that's just part of the job.
That's part of the job, thank you. That's how I should put it to her next time. I've just got to pash her. That's just the way it is.
So it is, babe. You've been with her for 11 years. Any wedding bells?
Well, I just want to make sure she's the right one. I feel like I needed just a bit more time to be certain. We did... I mean, it has come up, but it's not something that, you know, is a priority for us. Like, we know that we're going to be together, and, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So that's the kind of attitude we have, yeah.
You seem like such a busy guy. You're working on Home and Away. You've got potential films, feature films coming up. What's Charlie Clausen like to do in his spare time? I know we've got a mutual friend, don't we, Charlie? Scott Dooley.
Yeah. Well, I have a podcast, and Scott's actually the second guest that I have on that. I don't really have a lot of spare time. I mean, I just sort of realised after this, Christmas break, had a bit of time off, and it was such a shock to the system to actually have a day where I was doing nothing that I realised, I've just been in like a work mode for the past like 2 or 3 years, which is great, I mean, I'd rather be busy than not busy. I play AFL 9s.
You're mad for AFL, aren't you?
Yeah. We started a team, we put together a home and away team last year, the Summer Bay Sharks.
Are you any good?
Am I any good?
Well, is the team any good?
We actually finished in the finals last season, or whatever it's called, and we're undefeated in this season. We've only had 1 game, but we're still undefeated.
Who else is in the team?
Johnny Ruffo was playing, Nick Westerway, plays Kyle, was playing, and then there's a lot of crew who play in the team as well, and it's a mixed team as well. So Philippa, who plays my niece in the show, she plays in the forward pocket. She talks a lot.
Hey, that's great, fantastic. Footy, scripts, working, it sounds intense. Hey, Charlie, very quick question for you. Some fantastic Australian films came out last year. What was your favourite?
Last year? I thought The Rover was pretty special. And there was a Kiwi film, I know it's not technically an Australian film, but What We Do in the Shadows, which is a vampire comedy about vampires in a share house in Wellington, which I thought was pretty amazing.
Nice one. Excellent. Charlie, great to talk to you, mate.
Yeah,
all the best with developing this script. We'll keep an eye out for it. Good to talk to you, mate. To find out how Summer Bay's tragedy will unfold, you can tune in tonight for a double episode at 7 p.m. right here on 7.